Hi, it's Karen. Today I thought I would show you how I made these lovely loose imaginary watercolor butterflies. You can see some of them have a metallic sheen to them because I added a little metallic paint at the end after it was all dry. So if you want to do something like that, in addition to your colors, go ahead and grab some sort of metallic. I've been using the CSY Art Gallery that a friend of mine recommended, and I love them. They're really great little metallics. They're on Amazon. So pick out your colors. I think for today's demonstration, I'm going to stick with the teal and yellow and some of the pink purples. So go ahead and get your paints, and then you'll also need a dark color for the body and the antenna and the legs. So I have 2 little palettes ready to go with my different variations. And for brushes, I'm going to start with this mop brush, and because I don't actually remember which brush I used, so I used either the oval wash brush or the mop brush. So we'll try both of those, and then I have a script brush, a number 4 Da Vinci brush to do the body and the antenna. So, and then for the very end, I add little eyeballs to mine. So grab a little Micron pen of some kind in black, and then a white gel pen would work too, just for the final bits on the eyes. And other than that, just your normal stuff. Get some watercolor paper, get some water, a paper towel, and we'll get going. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, so if you have your colors picked out, I think I'm going to actually start with I had a change of heart. I think I'm actually going to start with, I don't remember what colors I used on this, but some purpley pinks and some blues. So I am going to make the wet spots for the wings with this oval wash brush. So I'm going to start with this. Just going to get it wet with some clean water, and I'm going to hold it loosely at the end, and I'm just going to make 2 splodges kind of where the wings would go, but not quite touching. Like, they can touch a little bit, but try to leave a little bit of there you go, a little bit of space between them, just for some of the weight of the paper to show through. And then I'm going to pick this purpley pink color, and we're going to drop in the paint, like right where, this is kind of where the wings are going to attach to the body. So we'll kind of just start with that. Okay. And then I'm going to add some of this blue. And I'm going to just kind of pull this out here. And notice I'm not like really drawing it in there. I'm just kind of dropping it in, because we're going to kind of let it flow and do its thing that it does. And then once it dries a little bit, we'll come back and do a little bit of shaping on it. But I want you to just kind of drop the water, drop the paint, and then let it sit for just a little bit. And then take your smaller brush, and we'll go ahead and make a body while some of that's working. So we'll go ahead and, if you can see this, get you a little closer. We'll just make, like, don't touch it completely, and don't really worry about like what the body looks like. But obviously it's usually segmented. It's got the head, and I think it's called the thorax, and then whatever the tail part, whatever that's called. Anyways, so that's good enough. And then rinse your brush off, and then go ahead and grab whatever your inside color is, and we'll go ahead and get that connected to the body. So mine was this pinkish color, and so we're going to go ahead and just bring it in so it touches. And it's okay if it starts to bleed a little bit. It's watercolor after all. Okay. And then now is the time when you can start maybe shaping it a little. Like this got a little wonky, so I'm going to like kind of pull it out, as you can imagine a butterfly would be, with their graceful wings. And remember, this is imaginary, so and here's where you can like play with it while it's still wet. You can run your brush through it and kind of make the veins that would be in a butterfly's wing. So that's pretty good. So and then if you wanted, I think I actually added some Payne's Gray to mine. So let me find my Payne's Gray and I'll be right back. So grab a darker color that isn't black if you have a Payne's Gray or Indigo. And I think that's what I did on mine. So yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. But so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I found my Indigo, so I'm just going to use the Indigo because I had it handy. I'm going to use my thin brush because I don't want to go crazy on this, but I want to add a little darkness here. If you're familiar with butterflies, usually the place where the wings connect to the body is darker than the rest. So I'm just going to add that. Yes, like that. And we'll just kind of put it in there loosely so we're not being too precious with it. Okay, that's good. So we will let that one dry and we will rotate our paper. And I'm going to move this out of the way. And we'll do our next one because this is really just practice. So let's go ahead. I'm going to stick with this brush. I think this is working well. And do your 2 splotches for the wings. And we will, I'm going to do the same colors. I'm interested in these colors. There's the pink. Here's the turquoise. Okay. Just let that percolate for a little bit. Okay. And grab your small brush. We'll go ahead and get a body in there. Oh, and look, I did the exact same position. See, I always do that. All right, we'll make it going this direction. I tell you. Try so hard. Okay. So we'll make this one going this way. Okay. And if you spill anything on your paper, you could just blot it off with a clean paper towel. And now we're going to connect the wings to the body like we did before. So go ahead and get your inside color. And you'll just add that and touch the body. Okay. And here's where you could start maybe adding some swoops just to make it look more elegant, like butterfly wings. Could even like add a little outline if you wanted. Just keep it loose though. We're not drawing circles or anything. And like if it's, I'm gonna blot that a little bit because that's looking a little too regular. I just want it to look a little looser. Okay, that's pretty. There's that butterfly. So let's go back to our first butterfly and take your small brush and your black or your dark color. And let's go ahead and add 2 little antennae. And I'm going to put some legs on mine. You don't have to. Okay. They have 3 legs, by the way. And while this is just, if this is still wet, so don't put your hand in it. But let's go ahead and we can do the same thing for this guy. Let's get this done. Okay. I think that one's going to be nice. So if you wanted to, I'm not going to, but you could add dots or something in here, like spots, you know how butterflies have spots and stuff. But okay, those turned out nice. So I think I'm going to switch colors, and we'll do a couple more in a different color. So why don't you grab some other colors and we'll be right back. Okay. If you're ready to go again, I did change out my water during that break too, because my water was getting kind of gross. So we're going to go ahead and I'll add another butterfly right here. So we'll go ahead and do our 2 splotches of water with a break between them. And I'm going to try this Fuchsite Genuine color. This is a Daniel Smith color. It's this color right here. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And then I think I'm going to do, I keep changing my mind. This is so fun. You can use any kind of, all your favorites. Like, that's why these are super fun. I'm going to use this Tiger Eye color. This is a Masha's handmade watercolor color. Okay. And we'll kind of just dab that in there. Okay. Lovely. I'm going to add a little more Fuchsite. Okay, grab your small brush and let's do the body. Get your black or whatever color you're using for the body. A little head on there. Alright, now I'm keeping the small brush. I'm going to come back with that Fuchsite color and we'll go ahead and connect it. Okay, just try to leave a little white in there if you can. And then now is the time you could shape it with some of your color, just to kind of make it look a little more like butterfly wings. You know, sometimes they have those little tails on their wings. So you could add that. Again, you could add splotches. Maybe I will add some dots in this one. I'm going to take this different blue color that I was using in the first one, this color, and I'm going to just drop some in, just randomly, like that. And I'm going to just put some clear water and try to drag this paint a little bit just to make it look a little looser. And then take my Indigo like we did on the other one, which I think I forgot to do. I forgot to do it on that one, and you can see it's missing the darkness, so that's okay. But if you have a darker color, I think it looks better like that. And then you could like pull it up along the wing too if you wanted for some additional color. Okay. And just kind of blend that all. Oh, that's pretty. That's lovely too. Okay. Let's go ahead and use your skinny brush and your black, and we'll add the antenna on these guys. And this one. Okay. Okay. Well, I think you get the idea. So, you know what I'm going to do though? Just to show you, you can come back and re-wet something. Like, I really think this looks better with a little darker contrast color between the wings and the body. So we're gonna re-wet this with a brush, lightly. So just take a brush, some clear water, and just lightly, don't go over it a million times, but just lightly coat it with water, if you can see that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll take our small brush again and our indigo or whatever color you're using for this part, and we're just gonna drop that in. So we re-wet it, and so we can add a little bit more detail to it. And this is, if you're a slow painter and things dry on you, that's one way you can keep working wet on wet. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Okay, I think they're all pretty. Okay, I am going to dry mine with my heat gun. I use one of these Dealy Bops by Mofa. So I will dry mine. So why don't you dry yours? Or if you want to keep going, make some more. It looked really cute when I got on a roll and I did my whole flutter. I found out a group of butterflies is called a flutter, which I think is... Oh, it's also called a kaleidoscope, which is lovely. So you could keep going, do more, but I just want to put the finishing touches on this to keep this video somewhat short. So I will be back in a moment. And it's time to put the finishing touches on our little butterflies. So if you're familiar with butterflies, they usually have a very pronounced eye. And it's like oval shaped kind of. So I'm gonna add eyeball, and you don't have to. I mean, it's fine without it, but I enjoy drawing eyes on wildlife. Okay, and then you can take your white gel pen or a little white gouache or whatever you got and add a little shine. Little shine in the eyeball, even though, I mean, honestly, you're probably never going to be up that close to a butterfly to see it, but it looks cute. I like it. And while you have your white pen, if you wanted to add spots or something, you could definitely do that. I am not going to, because I'm going to add some sparkle to mine. So I have this metallic with the blues and the greens, so I think that will work well. So when you're wetting your paints, your pan paints that haven't been used in a while, you just spray them with water. I just repurpose, you know, bottles from around the house. And here's my golds. Okay, so we'll get that going. Okay. And make sure your painting's totally dry because you don't want it to get kind of muddy. And I'm going to take maybe one of these gold colors and run it over the gold part, the yellow part. Just drop it in there. Don't be too precious about it. And then I'm going to take some of this greenish, bluish color and add it to the green part. This was the Fuchsia Genuine. It already had a little sparkle in it. There. Okay. And then I'll just do the blue. I don't really have any purple metallic, so we'll just add some blue on here. That's gonna look good. These are so pretty. These would make lovely cards if you want to make cards for somebody. Look how lovely that is. And you're not going over the whole thing, so you're letting it stay nice and loose. Oops, and I got paint everywhere, as usual. Okay, so I will dry this one more time and we'll take a final look. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I dried mine. Now it has a metallic sheen on it, and then I thought I would just add a little lettering. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I like to add my hand lettering to my artwork. So anyways, so take a look. I hope that you like yours. Yeah, I think they turned out really nice. So here was the other one. I think it's definitely more impressive to do a bunch like this. So if you have the time and you want to do a whole lot more, maybe do a lot more, I think perhaps I will add some more to the outside of this one too. But I didn't want to make the video too long. So I would love to know how yours worked out. And if you have any ideas for other videos, let me know. So, all right, take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.